Chapter 4002. We've arrived at the third level. After passing through the second level, they arrived at the third level. The scenery was the same as the first and second levels. Trees of all colors grew. They emitted a bewitching glow. Just as Wang Xian and the rest arrived at the third level, a roar sounded. Everyone immediately looked towards the source of the roar and saw a magical beast that looked like a giant butterfly. This demonic beast's body was brightly colored, covering its horrifying flesh pimples. It was 1,000 meters long and exuded a terrifying aura. It's a maze-meat dish magical beast, a first-order universe sovereign. One of the saints looked over and immediately recognized the demonic beast, and he said, "That's right. Let's begin. You said that most of the magical beasts on the third level are below fifth-order sovereigns. Let's wipe them all out." Wang Xian looked at the magical beast and said, With our team's strength, the third level is still very safe. But it's impossible to wipe them all out." The barbarian saint shook his head and looked at Wang Xian. "Saint Wang Xian, you might not know this, but the magical beasts will place their offspring in the abyss corresponding to their strength and let them grow there. But once their offspring are killed, they may not care if they are killed by the magical beasts. But if they are killed by us, they will retaliate and attack us. In other words, if we hunt wantonly, we may be attacked by the magical beasts in the deeper levels." The devil beast abyss was not as simple as Wang Xian thought. This was the territory of the magical beasts, and they had their own rules. It did not mean that the magical beasts in the lower levels would not care about the magical beasts in the upper levels. After the offspring of the magical beasts were born, they would grow up in the levels and hunt. At this time, if they were killed by someone other than their own kind, the magical beasts might retaliate. "Oh? Then we have to be more careful." Wang Xian nodded slightly when he heard this. If a seventh-order universe sovereign realm magical beast rushed up, they would not be a match at all. Of course, we don't have to worry too much. When the powerful magical beasts sense the death of their offspring, they will need some time to rush over. If we handle this well, we can leave quickly. Every level of the magical beast abyss is very big. They won't be able to lock onto us. In the magical beast abyss, the most important thing to be careful of is not to be surrounded by magical beast hordes for a long period of time. Once you are surrounded, you may be attacked by magical beasts from the deeper regions. Liu Saintus added on. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. "Let's go. Let's start cleaning." The barbarian Holy Sun chuckled. The group of people flashed and flew towards the first-order universe sovereign realm maze meat dish. They moved and quickly flew over. Roar! When the enchanting meat dish sensed Wang Xian and the rest flying over, it spread its colorful wings and flew away. It stared at him and felt a sense of threat. It turned around and fled into the distance. As it flapped its wings, waves of chaotic energy erupted from its body. The demonic beasts of the magical beast abyss were filled with chaotic energy. Their bodies contained not just one type of energy, but many types of energy. It was like the amalgamation of all kinds of energies, incomparably chaotic. However, it possessed terrifying energy. "Hurry up and kill it." As the barbarian Holy Sun spoke, a wave of energy enveloped everyone. Their speed suddenly increased by a few times. I'll go first." Liu Holy Daughter chuckled. With a wave of her hand, an incomparably huge staff appeared in her hand. She raised the staff and a water net instantly condensed in front of the enchanting meat dish. The entire water net enveloped it. Roar! The first-order sovereign realm demonic beast let out a desperate roar when it saw the water net enveloping it. Pft, pft, pft. The water net enveloped its body, and droplets of water flowed into its body. The entire demonic beast fell to the ground instantly, without any signs of life. Let's look for a group of magical beasts to fight. A lone magical beast is boring. The barbarian Holy Sun chuckled and said when he saw the demonic beast being killed so easily. "I'll go look for it. You guys keep watch around," Wang Xian said to them. "We'll look around too." The Holy Sun and Saintess of the Spatial Forbidden Zone also spoke up. Among all the attributes, the spatial attribute was the best at scouting. They were naturally responsible for scouting. All right. Lu Yu Holy Daughter nodded and said, "Be careful." Wang Xian nodded his head and looked ahead. With a flash, he disappeared instantly. The Holy Son and Saintess of the Spatial Forbidden Zone also disappeared instantly. It's much more convenient for us to form a team like this than to act alone. A Saintess couldn't help but chuckle when she saw them leaving. The group nodded in agreement. With the spatial attribute to scout, it was very easy for them to work together in battle. Wang Xian teleported to a faraway location. With a thought, he sensed the surroundings with his mind. Given his current strength, he didn't have to worry about his expression here. After a few flashes, he was already very far away from the group. He quickly sensed the surroundings and encountered hundreds of magical beasts along the way. All of them were first order, second order, and third order sovereigns. The density of magical beasts in the abyss of magical beasts is really high. Wang Xian couldn't help but exclaim. In the nine-source universe, there weren't as many universe sovereigns as there were in the abyss of magical beasts. Of course, this might have something to do with the blood of creation realm sovereigns here. Countless living beings had died here. Because of the blood of the creation realm sovereigns, this place had changed. In addition, the creation realm sovereigns from the sword and magic cosmos did not destroy this place. As for why they did not destroy this place, it might be used as a training ground for the disciples of the cosmos. There could also be other reasons. As for the specifics, Wang Xian didn't know. After flying for a day, Wang Xian sensed the presence of a group of magical beasts. In a flash, he appeared above the group of magical beasts. Woo 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 woo! Woo 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 woo! The moment Wang Xian appeared, the magical beasts immediately sensed him. Pairs of golden eyes stared at him fiercely. Wang Xian swept his gaze across. There were 25 fifth-order universe sovereigns. There were over 50 fourth-order universe sovereigns. The rest were over 300 of other levels. A group of magical beasts of this level, I can easily exterminate them myself. Wang Xian mumbled as he looked around. He revealed a hesitant look, but still decided to inform the barbarian saint and the rest. Let's fight with them for some time first. If it doesn't work, I'll leave by myself. Chapter 4003 Swish Swish Swish. Wang Xian sent a message to the barbarian saint, Lua Saintess, and the rest. A few hours later, figures flew over one by one. Wang Xian had already retreated from the place where the demonic beasts had gathered. Holy Son Wang Xian, have you discovered a horde of demonic beasts? The barbarian saint and the rest looked at Wang Xian and asked with smiles. Yes. 25 fifth-order universe sovereigns, over 40 fourth-order universe sovereigns, and over 300 other demonic beasts. Wang Xian nodded his head and answered them. Ha! The strength of this horde of demonic beasts isn't weak, Lua Saintess said as she narrowed her eyes. It's not a big problem. We can eliminate them easily, Wang Xian replied. Given our strength, it's indeed not a problem. We just have to be careful not to be ambushed by the demonic beasts on the next level. The barbarian saint nodded his head and looked at the group behind him. Everyone, prepare for battle. Leave the fifth order and fourth order universe sovereigns to us. The rest are yours. Yes. The group of saints, saintesses, and supreme talents answered immediately with glistening eyes. The demonic beast army was still a huge pressure for them. However, they had Wang Xian, the barbarian saint, and Lua Saintess on their side. It shouldn't be a big problem. Let's go! Wang Xian gestured to them and led the way. Soon, the group arrived at the horde of demonic beasts. It's a hunter demonic beast. The barbarian saint and the rest approached. When they saw the humanoid demonic beast ahead, he immediately spoke. A solemn look appeared on his face. What do you think? Wang Xian asked when he saw his expression. The demonic beast ahead looked similar to a human, but it was a few thousand meters in size. Its entire body was covered in terrifying weapons, just like a killing machine. The hunter demonic beast is a huge race in the magical beast abyss. They can be found in every level. This also means that there's a high chance that powerful hunter demonic beasts will rush up from the lower levels after hunting them. It's the most dangerous demonic beast to hunt, Lua Saintis explained. There's such a thing? Wang Xian's eyes flickered. Holy Virgin Luyu, I suggest that we don't provoke them. This tribe's strength is considered to be at the top of the 3rd level. If we kill them, there's a 60 to 70% chance that magical beasts will rush over from the 4th level. It's very risky. The Holy Maiden of the Forbidden Space pondered for a moment before suggesting. The risk is high, but the reward is also high. Are we going to hunt only 3rd or 4th order sovereigns? Wang Xian frowned as he looked at the demon hunter before him. It would be too boring if they didn't hunt these magical beasts. Yes, the risk is great, but the rewards are also great. We're here to train, to clean up the magical beast abyss. If we're only dealing with some weak magical beasts, there's no need to form a team. The barbarian saint nodded in agreement and looked around. Everyone, are you going to attack? With the barbarian saint and the others here, we are much stronger than the magical beasts. It would be inexcusable if we didn't take action. There's no guarantee of safety in the magical beast abyss. A saintess and saintess hesitated for a moment before speaking up. All right, everyone, prepare to attack. Saintess Lu Wen narrowed her eyes and ordered everyone. Fight. Swordsman, let's go. The barbarian saint waved his arm, and a 3-meter-long giant sword appeared in his hand. It was surrounded by lightning bolts. Wang Xian moved, and in a flash, he appeared above the group of magical beasts. The moment they unleashed their energy, the hundreds of magical beasts saw Wang Xian and the others, and their eyes were filled with coldness. In their cold eyes, a wave of energy was released, and they attacked Wang Xian and the others. They attacked directly. Wang Xian was unfazed. Swish, 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 swish. In the blink of an eye, spatial swords appeared around him. There were more than a dozen spatial swords, and half of them were inborn cardinal treasures. Although Wang Xian's void divine dragon body couldn't control so many inborn cardinal treasures at once, the sharpness of inborn cardinal treasures was still terrifying, and inborn spiritual treasures couldn't compare to it. More than a dozen spatial swords instantly attacked the 5th Order Universe Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters. Swish, 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 swish! Roar, roar! The moment Wang Xian flew into the sky, beams of golden energy shot towards him. In an instant, more than a dozen demon hunters charged towards him. That terrifying aura and violent might made one's heart palpitate. Demon hunters possessed wind, darkness, and metal attributes. When these attributes were combined, it was extremely explosive. Strangle. Wang Xian looked at them and snorted. Above him, more than a dozen spatial swords formed a line. The sword mound was set up instantly. The sword array was formed instantly. Walala! Sounds like glass shattering reverberated. More than a dozen spatial swords instantly charged towards more than a dozen demon hunters. In the void, there seemed to be countless spatial swords condensed into sharp swords. In a flash, they pierced through more than a dozen demon hunters. In the next instant, screams were heard. More than a dozen demon hunters were killed in an instant, and fell to the ground. What a strong attack! Seeing this, the barbarian saint's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. He was surrounded by lightning, and the huge sword was also covered in lightning. Crackle! In a flash, he was like a bolt of lightning, shuttling in front of him instantly. When the demon hunters saw this, they waved their arms that were like sharp weapons and swept them towards the thunderbolts. However, the speed of the lightning was too fast. In an instant, it pierced through their bodies. The huge sword pierced through their chests directly. The lightning flashed and pierced through the bodies of 9 demon hunters. Similarly, 9 demon hunters were killed by him in an instant. One water, one world! Seeing this, Saintess Liuyue's eyes flashed with fighting spirit. The huge magic staff in her hand shone brightly. Each water droplet that seemed to contain the entire world attacked the 5th Order Universe Dominator demon hunters. When the rest of the devil hunters saw Wang Xian and his team, they roared furiously and charged towards them in unison. "Prepare to attack!" One of the saints shouted and charged forward with a sharp sword in his hand. "Magic, attack!" At the back, the group of saints, saintesses, and supreme talents who specialized in magic immediately released their magic and began attacking. Chapter 4004 Rumble, Rumble, Rumble. The battle had begun. The entire team immediately clashed with hundreds of hunter demons. All the Fourth Order Universe sovereigns and above were fended off by Wang Xian, the barbarian saint, and Lua Saintess. As for the rest of the demonic beasts, another group fought against them. The swordsmen fought in close combat at the front. At the back, a group of sorcerers assisted and attacked from afar. With their cooperation, they immediately suppressed the group of demonic beasts. Wang Xian instantly killed over a dozen Fifth Order Universe sovereigns. He waved his arm. Space swords floated around him and sword mounds were set up around him. Roar, roar, roar! The group of Fourth Order and Fifth Order sovereigns could feel the terrifying pressure from Wang Xian. They became agitated and roared furiously. Rumble, rumble! They stomped heavily on the ground and charged towards the sky. In an instant, over 30 hunter demons charged towards Wang Xian. They waved their sharp claws and clawed towards the sky. Waves of violent energy shrouded towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian waved his arm and the surrounding sword mounds trembled before connecting together. A sword array was formed and shrouded the area below. Pft, pft, pft. Any hunter devil beast that charged over was slain by Wang Xian. One move and all of them were killed. "Brother Wang Xian, isn't your attack power a little too terrifying?" At the side, the barbarian saint was shocked to see Wang Xian kill so many hunter devil beasts in 2 moves. This was a real battle. He could clearly sense the powerful attack power in Wang Xian's 2 moves. This caused his face to be filled with shock. "Leave some for us." Lua Saintess looked over and opened her mouth. She couldn't help but ask. After witnessing this terrifying sword technique, Lua Saintess could basically confirm that it would be difficult for her to defeat Wang Xian. In fact, she might even be defeated. This was because she was a sorcerer. Experts with the space attribute had a great advantage over sorcerers. Hee, alright. Wang Xian chuckled and nodded his head lightly. He floated in the air and didn't continue his attack. Below him, the group of devil hunters and magical beasts sensed Wang Xian's aura and did not attack him. This Saint Wang Xian's combat strength is really terrifying. He killed almost half of the elite magical beasts in just 2 moves. With his strength, he can easily destroy this horde of demonic beasts by himself. He's too strong. His destructive power seems to be even stronger than the barbarian saint and the others. What kind of spatial sword technique is that? How can it be so terrifying? The holy sons, holy virgins, and geniuses in the surroundings were also shocked when they saw this scene. Wang Xian's combat strength was just too strong. Even though he possessed the space attribute, he was still a Fifth Order sovereign. Now, killing magical beasts of the same level was like slaughtering dogs. It was too shocking. His sword technique! Saint Su and I, who was in the forbidden land of space, looked at Wang Xian with flickering eyes. His expression changed drastically. The spatial attribute had always been the strongest in the forbidden space. Now, there was a young man of the same generation whose strength far surpassed his, which made him jealous. His expression changed, but he continued to kill the demonic beasts in front of him. After hearing Holy Virgin Liu Yue's words, Wang Xian did not attack again. He hovered in the air, watching everything with a smile. His gaze fell on Long Yinyin and Long Yinhao, and he nodded slightly. Without Wang Xian to continue attacking, their speed of battle was much slower. However, this was also the intention of the barbarian saint and Holy Virgin Lue. When they unleashed their full strength, they could finish the battle quickly. But in that case, the other members would not get the chance to train. Therefore, they slowed down the pace of battle. To ensure safety, end the battle within half an hour. The barbarian saint killed a hunter demon beast in front of him with a slash of his sword. End the battle within half an hour. Even if the lower level hunter demon beast sensed that their offspring had been killed, by the time they rushed over, they would have already left. Half an hour was a safe period of time. Yes, the group of disciples answered loudly. The demonic beast had strong vitality, and they had a very powerful ability. That was Berserk. These demonic beasts were very special. They had several elemental energies integrated into their bodies. There was even a hint of conflict between the various elemental energies. But even so, the power of the demonic beasts in a berserk state was terrifying. In a berserk state, their battle strength could increase by 50%. Wang Xian hovered above, sizing them up. Every universe had its own unique characteristics. The Nine-Source universe's characteristic was the universe kingdom. The Sword and Magic universe's characteristic was magic and swordsmanship. The Faith universe's characteristic was the power of faith. The Void universe's characteristic was the power of space. And the formation of these demonic beasts was mainly due to the crazy demon universe. The crazy devil cosmos definitely had some unique characteristics. Berserk might be one of them. The more heavily injured they were, the more terrifying their berserk power would be. Just now, Wang Xian had killed the hunter demon beast in an instant, so it could not go berserk in front of him. He watched calmly as the hunter demon beasts were killed one by one. At most 20 minutes, all the demonic beasts would be finished. However, 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, a terrifying roar was heard. Not far away, 8 figures were rushing towards them at high speed. They were jumping on the ground, and each jump could cover a terrifying distance. 8 hunter demon beasts. They were over 2,000 meters tall, and their bodies were filled with berserk energy. Huh! Oh no, how is this possible? These are the lower-level hunter demon beasts. How can they be so fast? Not good, it's the 6th order sovereign realm hunter demon beasts. How can they be so fast? A sudden roar sounded. Following which, everyone felt a chill down their spine as the threat of death enveloped them. Everyone looked over, and when they saw the 8 figures leaping over, their eyes narrowed. Their faces were filled with shock and fear. 8 6th order sovereign realm hunter demon beasts, charging over. This wasn't something they could fight against. What? When the barbarian saint, Lua Saintus, and the rest saw these 8 figures, their faces changed. Run, run now! Their faces changed, and they immediately shouted. 8 6th order sovereign realm hunter demon beasts were no longer something they could deal with. Especially for the other team members, once the battle started, only death awaited them. Chapter 4005. Roar, roar, roar! Roar, roar, roar! The sudden appearance of the 8 6th order universe sovereign realm devil hunters caused the entire team to reveal looks of fear. Without any hesitation, they gave the order to escape. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he saw this. It was not impossible to deal with 8 6th order sovereign realm devil hunters. However, he had no intention of fighting them. Only 8 of them had come. What if there were more? In that case, it was not something that they could resist. Wang Xian might be able to escape easily, but they might not be able to. With this thought in mind, Wang Xian moved and followed the group of people as they flew into the distance. Wang Xian, the barbarian saint, and Lua Saintus shrouded everyone with their energy as they flew faster. Roar, roar! Roar, roar! The 8 demon hunters let out violent roars when they saw them escaping. Their speed suddenly increased by a lot. Moreover, they split up and tried to surround them from both sides. They're fast! The barbarian saint's expression changed when he heard the roars coming from behind. Speed up and shake them off. We'll be in trouble if we can't shake them off, Lua Saintus said solemnly. Their expressions did not look too good. Roar! However, at this time, a demon hunter let out a deafening roar from behind. This roar spread out in all directions. It seemed to be summoning something. Oh no, this demon hunter is summoning something. The magical beasts on the lower level can command the magical beasts on the upper level. They're summoning a magical beast to stop us. Su and I, who was in the forbidden space zone, shouted loudly when he saw this. He was currently in the 4th Order Sovereign Realm. If he was targeted by a 6th Order Sovereign Realm magical beast, he would still be in danger even if he had the space attribute, and could escape quickly. Run! The barbarian saint and the rest shouted in a low voice. His 2-meter giant sword had become 1,000 meters long. Everyone stood on his giant sword. Lua Saintess's flowing water power kept increasing the speed of the giant sword. At the same time, Wang Xian's space power was also added to it. Based on their speed, escaping shouldn't be too much of a problem. Behind them, the gap between the demon hunters and them grew wider and wider. It should be fine now. After fleeing for about 10 minutes, the Lua Holy Maiden turned around and glanced behind her. She could no longer see the hunter demons or magical beasts behind her. She heaved a sigh of relief. If they were entangled by these 8 magical beasts, it would be very troublesome for them. Even if they could escape, the entire team would suffer heavy losses. It should be fine. It was really dangerous just now. It's best if we don't provoke this kind of hunter magic beast. Didn't our group of seniors go to the 4th floor to clean up? Now that senior has gone to the 4th floor, things should be better. The holy sons and holy daughters spoke with lingering fear in their hearts. Roar! However, as soon as they finished speaking, a series of roars came from the front. The sudden roar made all of them slightly stunned. Wang Xian stood on the sharp sword of the barbarian saint. He was slightly taken aback as he looked ahead. In front of them, hundreds of demon hunters were staring at them, their eyes filled with violent killing intent. Among these several hundred devil beasts, there were 25th Order sovereigns. The rest were all 2nd Order sovereigns and above. Huh! Why did we encounter such a strong demon hunter? Everyone raised their eyebrows when they saw this. Barbarian Saint, they are charging over. Hundreds of demon hunters exuded a violent aura as they attacked them. This group of demon hunters has entered a violent state. This is bad. Let's get rid of them immediately and leave this place. Holy Daughter Lu Wen narrowed her eyes when she saw the group of demon hunters going berserk before the battle even started. Wang Xian looked at the demon hunters with a glimmer in his eyes. These demon hunters were slightly different from the group they had encountered earlier. Just now, they had taken the initiative to search and hunt. As for these demon hunters, it seemed like they were here specifically to attack them. Moreover, they had already gone berserk before they even charged over. When the demon hunters went berserk, their combat strength instantly increased by 50%. To them, this was a little shocking. Magical beasts did not go berserk at will. Their berserk behavior came at the cost of their vitality and potential. Under normal circumstances, they would only go berserk when they were in danger or injured. This kind of berserk behavior before they even charged over made them slightly uneasy. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Wang Xian did not hesitate. One by one, the space swords floated in the air. As the space swords flickered, they began to form sword mounds. Attack! The barbarian saint focused his eyes and the huge sword returned to his hand. He charged forward, enveloped in lightning. The saints and saintesses who practiced swordsmanship followed closely behind. Holy Daughter Luwa also unleashed her powerful sorcery. Roar, roar! Roar, roar! In front of them, the group of demon hunters did not seem to be afraid of death as they stared at Wang Xian and the rest with cold eyes. The violent energy in the surroundings formed a terrifying storm. Even though Wang Xian and the barbarian saint were stronger, they still charged over fearlessly. Moon Sword Array. Wang Xian looked at the demon hunters without any emotion in his eyes. Above them, the sword mounds were formed and connected to form a sword array. A moonlight sword disc appeared in the sky, shining brightly. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Following which, countless sharp swords flew towards the group of demon hunters. Roar, roar! At the very front, more than 25th Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters felt threatened, and they waved their arms. Streaks of horrifying sharp blades shrouded Wang Xian and the rest. It completely covered half the sky. Boom, boom, boom! Boom! Terrifying sounds of collision could be heard. Other than Wang Xian, the attacks of the barbarian saint and Lua Saintis, had penetrated their attacks. The rest of the attacks were all blocked by them. However, this was enough. The attacks from Wang Xian and the rest landed on the bodies of the Fifth Order sovereigns. The terrifying destructive power caused his life force to rapidly disappear. In the blink of an eye, over 20 Fifth Order Sovereign Realm magical beasts were killed by them. Roar! However, the instant they killed more than 20 Fifth Order Sovereign Realm magical beasts, they retreated to their left and right. The 8 demon hunters charged over at a frightening speed. What? Everyone's expression changed when they saw the 6th Order Sovereign Realm Hunter Devil charging towards them. Chapter 4006. We're being targeted. Wang Xian looked at the 8 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters and spoke with flickering eyes. Not good. Quickly send a signal for help. Quickly ask for help. We are no match for them at all. Why are these demon hunters staring at us? Damn it, it's going to be hard for us to escape now. Barbarian Saint, Lua Saintis, Wang Xian Saint, what should we do? Panicked voices came from the mouths of the holy sons and holy daughters. They looked at this scene with bitter expressions. Oh no! The Barbarian Saint and Luyu Saintis looked at this scene with a solemn and embarrassed expression. Kill them. It shouldn't be a problem for each of you to deal with 2 of them, right? Wang Xian waved his arm and 40 spatial attribute inborn cardinal treasure level spatial swords hovered above him. Each of the swords exuded a terrifying aura. Leave the 4 of them to me. I'll kill them all, Wang Xian said coldly. He moved without hesitation and charged towards the 4 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters on the right. Although it was difficult to fight 3 or 4 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters after advancing to a higher realm. But with the Tianyuan sword technique, it wasn't a problem for Wang Xian. Especially since he had many treasures in his hands. He had 40 swords that were comparable to inborn cardinal treasure level. These were all obtained from the Void Pagoda. Big brother Wang Xian, be careful! Long Yinin was shocked and shouted worriedly when he saw Wang Xian charging towards the 4 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunters. Don't worry, just 4 demon hunters. Wang Xian waved his arm and charged over with 40 inborn cardinal treasure level spatial swords. When the 4 demon hunters saw Wang Xian charging over, they waved their sharp claws in a frenzy. Waves of energy tore towards him. Swish, swish, swish. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 40 spatial swords met them head-on. In the midst of the charge, the 40 swords changed their positions and condensed into a sword formation. Boom! Bam, bam, bam! Sounds of collision could be heard and Wang Xian's aura didn't seem to be at a disadvantage. So! With a wave of his arm, the 18 swords flew above his head and began to spin, forming sword mounds. Following which, a horrifying sword of space landed in Wang Xian's hand. This was a spatial sword condensed from energy, but it contained an unparalleled might of the sword Dao. This Saint Wang Xian is actually able to fight against 4 alone. The boundless barbarian saint's eyes widened and he couldn't help but scream. Space attribute, surpassing levels to fight 1 against 4. This shocked the barbarian saint. With his talent and the treasures in his hands, it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill 2 magical beasts of the same level. However, if there were 3 of them, he would be no match for them at all. But now, Wang Xian was going against 4 of them. Moreover, he was not at a disadvantage at all. This caused him to be incomparably shocked. How could the strength of Saint Wang Xian be so terrifying? So strong, Saint Sun Vi Barbarian. We'll each take 2 of the other 4. Holy Maiden Luyu stared at the 2 6th Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters in astonishment. With a flash, she locked onto the 2 6th Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters. Alright, I'll leave the Devil Hunters in front to you guys. We'll deal with the 8 6th Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters. The boundless barbarian saint wielded the giant sword and charged forward like a thunderstorm. He raised the giant sword in his hand, drew a lightning arc, and slashed forward. This Saint Wang Xian is so strong! He's going against 4 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters alone. Yeah, he's not at a disadvantage at all. Wang Xian's swordsmanship is too strong. He has too many treasures in his hands. These 40 swords are all innate cardinal treasures. Oh my, isn't this too horrifying? The saints and saintesses exclaimed in astonishment. They saw Wang Xian fighting alone against 4 and not at a disadvantage. Wang Xian's terrifying combat strength and the 40 innate cardinal treasures swords shocked them. He actually has so many innate cardinal treasure spatial swords. How is this possible? And his space sword technique. Saint Su and I and the rest in the Forbidden Void were also shocked when they saw this scene, as well as a strong sense of jealousy. 40 innate cardinal treasure spatial attribute swords. This was crazy. What kind of legacy did he get? Why does he have such powerful swordsmanship and so many supreme treasures? The Saintess of the Forbidden Void couldn't help but send a voice transmission to Saint Su and I. I don't know. Saint Su and I also shook his head. In the entire sword and sorcery universe, the strongest expert in the space attribute was the Laozu of the Forbidden Void. If one wanted to cultivate the strongest space arts, the Forbidden Void was the only place. This was widely acknowledged by the entire universe. However, a young man who was even more demon-like than them had suddenly appeared. He was merely in existence from a small Forbidden Void. How could they not be shocked and jealous that he had such treasures and swordsmanship? Fight! Get rid of all the demonic beasts in front! At this time, the Saintess of the Forbidden Void's voice sounded and ordered all the saints and saintesses. The group of saints and saintesses immediately recovered and attacked the hundreds of demonic beasts in front of them. Slash! With the sword array above his head and the heavenly yuan sword array in his hand, Wang Xian teleported and appeared behind a devil hunter. In the sky, the other 22 swords hovered in the air and attacked continuously. When the devil hunter saw Wang Xian attacking him, he swung his arm. His entire arm that was like a sharp blade grew to 1,000 meters long and slashed at Wang Xian. Bam! The sharp blade on his arm collided with Wang Xian's sharp sword, creating a loud bang. The demon hunter's body couldn't help but be sent flying backwards. Wang Xian saw it and rushed forward. The sword of space in his hand also grew to 10,000 meters long. From top to bottom, he slashed at the devil hunter. It roared with a frenzied expression. At the side, the other 3 devil hunters saw this and hurried to help. Bam, bam, bam! The 10,000 meters long sword slashed forward but was blocked by the 4 devil hunters. Wang Xian swung his arm and the sword in his hand pierced forward. The sword array above him also shifted rapidly. Wang Xian swung his arm and the other 22 swords began to teleport to a certain spot in the surroundings. The space power in Wang Xian's body vibrated. Waves of space power were transferred to the swords, forming a sword mound. Roar, roar! The 4 devil hunters stared at the swords that were attacking them and roared furiously. Golden energy radiated from their eyes as they tried to destroy the swords. Chapter 4007. Bam, bam, bam! Terrifying collisions were heard. Golden radiance erupted from the eyes of the 4 demon hunters. As they collided with Wang Xian's 10,000-meter sword, a terrifying sound was heard. The sword of space collapsed and the golden radiance dissipated. Roar! 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 The 4 demon hunters pounced towards Wang Xian when they saw the sharp swords being destroyed. Magical beasts were best at close combat. It was especially so for the demon hunters. Their entire body was a weapon. The 4 demon hunters were ferocious and fast. When Wang Xian saw it, he froze for a moment and disappeared instantly. The other 18 sharp swords floated around him and started to lay down the sword mounds. Roar! The demon hunter in the middle roared and 3 of them charged towards Wang Xian again. As for the other one, it attacked the space swords one by one. They could sense a threat from the sword of space. Separate? Courting death! Wang Xian smiled eerily when he saw this. He moved and flew to a faraway position. The 3 demon hunters immediately chased after him. Wang! When he flew for a certain distance, his figure became a little illusory. Teleportation. The moment he teleported, the 3 demon hunters had already sensed the location of Wang Xian's teleportation. They swung their arms and a terrifying bone spike shot out from their arms. Wang Xian's eyes remained calm when he saw this. He looked at the demon hunter that was attacking the sword of space. Sword 22, sword formation, activate! Wang Xian let out a low roar. The 22 sharp swords that were laid out in the air vibrated violently. The sharp swords on top of it revolved, and the densely packed swords were like a storm, directly attacking the demon hunter. Roar! Roar! The demon hunter felt threatened. It stared at the swords and crossed its arms and limbs. It formed a sphere. It roared madly, and waves of energy surged out of its body. The energy was blood-red, golden and dark. It was an unusual mix of colors. It was unusually violent. This was a violent force. The moment it sensed that its life was threatened, it went berserk. Wang! After Wang Xian launched an attack, he quickly dodged to the side. 3 bone spikes were already in front of him. So. Wang Xian constantly performed short-distance teleportation. With just a thought, he arrived at another place. However, the bone spur seemed to have a life of its own as it locked onto Wang Xian. No matter how he teleported, he would be pursued. Wang Xian teleported rapidly. His main focus was on the demon hunter that was being attacked. With a wave of his arm, the other 18 spatial swords formed 10 sword mounds. He didn't continue to condense them. The 10 sword mounds instantly merged together and attacked the demon hunter. Bam bam bam! The 22 swords formation landed on the demon hunter, causing it to be drenched in blood. Clang! At this moment, the sharp swords formed by the 10 sword graves once again pierced through it. Ao! The demon hunter, who was already heavily injured, let out a frenzied and terrified roar when it saw the terrifying swords slashing towards it in an instant. Roar! When the other 3 demon hunters saw this, their expressions changed drastically, and they immediately flew towards it. Pooh! However, they were still a step too slow. The sharp swords pierced through the body of the demon hunter. They pierced through it directly and obliterated it. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile when he saw this scene. He moved and continued to dodge the attack of the bone spur. One by one, the sharp swords flew towards Wang Xian. A total of 40 space swords arrived in front of him and attacked the bone spur. Bam bam bam! The inborn cardinal treasure level spatial swords collided with the bone spur. He easily blocked the attack. Roar! When the 3 demon hunters saw one of their companions dead, they let out furious roars. Fresh blood flowed from their bodies as they went berserk. Their golden eyes that were dripping with blood stared at Wang Xian as they attacked. Ha! Holy Sun Wang Xian has already killed the demon hunter. SSS, Holy Sun Wang Xian's strength is so terrifying. Impressive. Holy Sun Wang Xian has already killed one. However, the other 3 demon hunters have gone berserk. After going berserk, their strength isn't any weaker than the previous 4. Holy Sun Wang Xian could kill one just now. He can do the same now. Kill! The 6th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunter has been blocked. The 5th Order Sovereign Realm Demon Hunter has also been killed by Holy Sun Wang Xian and the rest. Let's kill the rest of the demon hunters. What terrifying strength he has. He can still kill a demon hunter in such a short period of time despite fighting against 4 alone. How terrifying! The group of saints and saintesses below sensed the battle on Wang Xian's side. Their faces were filled with shock. He could still kill a demon hunter in such a short period of time despite fighting against 4 alone. The strength of Holy Sun Wang Xian was truly invincible. On the other side, the barbarian saint and saintess Luwa sensed the battle and were also shocked. They knew that there was a huge gap between their strength and Wang Xian's. Kill! With a roar, they instantly burst forth. They possessed the best cultivation arts and treasures in the entire universe. Naturally, they didn't want to be weaker than others. Hee, just the three of you. I can exhaust you to death. Wang Xian's face turned cold when he saw the three demon hunters going berserk. The strength of the demon hunters skyrocketed after going berserk. However, they couldn't maintain their berserk state forever. They wouldn't be able to hold on for more than 10 hours. When Wang Xian saw them charging towards him, he moved his body and dodged them immediately. The strongest move of a cultivator of the power of space was to escape. Escape! Roar! Roar! The three berserk demon hunters wanted to surround Wang Xian and attack him. They knew that the longer they stayed in their berserk state, the more damage they would suffer. Therefore, they wanted to kill Wang Xian as soon as possible. However, they couldn't catch up with Wang Xian's speed. Roar! 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 This infuriated them. Suddenly, one of the demon hunters roared and stared at the ground below. It locked its eyes on the group of saints and saintesses. Suddenly, it charged forward. Huh! They still have some intelligence! Wang Xian frowned slightly when he saw this. He waved his arm and the sharp swords flew out. He wasn't escaping but taking the initiative to attack. Below, the group of saints and saintesses felt a chill in their hearts when they were targeted by a sixth-order sovereign demon hunter. They heaved a sigh of relief when they saw Wang Xian intercepting the demon hunter. They knew that they had held Wang Xian back. Chapter 4008 Clang Clang Clang. The sword of space let out a horrifying metallic sound. 40 sharp swords shot towards the front continuously. The three demon hunters saw Wang Xian attacking them again, and seeing that he was no longer dodging, all of them roared and attacked Wang Xian directly. The sharp swords were slapped away by them. At the same time, their bodies were also sent flying backwards. Wang Xian stared at them with a cold gleam in his eyes. He moved his palm and the 40 sharp swords flew over quickly and hovered around him. Wang Xian shook his body, and the sword mounds formed around him. He clenched his fist and all the sword mounds flew into his hand. A sword of space that contained horrifying might appeared in his hand again. Wang Xian looked at the sharp sword in his hand and revealed a sinister look. The sharp sword was 100 meters long. He held it in his hand and attacked the demon hunters one by one. Roar, roar! The three berserk demon hunters charged towards Wang Xian immediately, and clawed at him. Bam, bam, bam! Bam, bam, bam! Both parties engaged in close combat, and streams of energy gathered on the sharp claws. Wang Xian's energy was gathered on this horrifying sharp sword. He waved the long sword and clashed with the three demon hunters. The frightening attack force sent the three demon hunters flying backwards. If all four of them go berserk, I might have to be wary. But if it's three of them, die! Wang Xian wielded the sword of space with both hands and locked his eyes on one of the demon hunters. In the past, Wang Xian could fight against 7 to 8 demon hunters. But as his level increased, the strength of his opponents also got stronger. However, as he had the space attribute, he had a large number of inborn cardinal treasure swords. He had creation-level swordsmanship. Horrifying perceptive ability. Under all these circumstances, his combat strength was extremely horrifying. He could still fight against 4 to 5 existences that were of a higher level than him. One should know that Wang Xian's physical body had been enhanced and his current strength was above that of a ruler. This had also benefited his doppelganger greatly. It wasn't a big problem to fight 3 demon hunters head-on. However, it would take some time to destroy a berserk hunter magical beast. Bam, bam, bam! Wang Xian came to a devil hunter quickly and slashed with the sharp sword in his hand. The 6th-order sovereign realm devil hunter struggled desperately with fear on its face. Roar! The other 2 demon hunters immediately came over to help. Once again, they engaged in a chaotic battle. Bam, bam, bam! Wang Xian relied on his strong senses and battle experience to engage them in an intense battle. With the Khanate Cardinal Sword and the Tianyuan Sword technique, he always had the upper hand. Large amounts of blood slowly appeared on the bodies of the 3 devil hunters. The battle continued to erupt. The 3 hunter magical beasts continued to howl. They raged. Terrifying energy surged in all directions, causing the entire world to change color. Wang Xian's expression remained unchanged. On the other side, the barbarian saint was fighting against 2 demonic beasts at the same time. He also had the upper hand. The Luwa Saintess was not inferior either. All of the 6th Order Sovereign Realm Devil Hunters were suppressed. Below them, the Holy Sons and Holy Daughters had the upper hand. The powerful Devil Hunters had already been wiped out by Wang Xian and the rest. Therefore, they did not feel much pressure in the battle. One by one, the Devil Hunters were killed by them. The battle continued for more than 10 hours. The group of Saint Sons and Saintesses had wiped out all the Devil Hunters. Phew! This made all of them heave a sigh of relief. They looked to the left and the sky with glistening eyes. Holy Sun Wang Xian, the barbarian saint, and the Luwa Saintess have the upper hand. It's especially so for Holy Sun Wang Xian. I'm guessing the Devil Hunters will die after their frenzy ends. Holy Sun Wang Xian is too brave. He's chasing after 3 Devil Hunters alone. He's too strong. The 3 Devil Hunters are already injured. If this goes on, Holy Sun Wang Xian will definitely win. Holy Sun Lu Yu and the Luwa Saintess should be able to win as well. However, that might take some time. We're too weak to be of any help. The Holy Sons and Holy Daughters discussed among themselves as they looked at the 3 battlefields. Holy Daughter and Sansi, should we contact some seniors and ask for their help? A Holy Son asked the Holy Daughter of the obscene Forbidden Land. We've already contacted them. The nearest 6th Order sovereigns will come over. Holy Daughter and Sansi nodded. Our obscene Forbidden Land didn't send any experts over. Training is training. We can't send experts over just because we're in danger. Our Forbidden Land has 6th Order sovereigns in the surrounding areas. They're on their way. At this time, Saint Su and I of the Forbidden Land also spoke up. Yeah. Holy Daughter and Sansi nodded. She looked at the battlefields and said, let's watch from here and learn from them. The Holy Sons and Holy Daughters nodded. Now that the crisis was over, they felt much more relaxed. As time passed, the injuries of the demon hunters became more and more severe. However, these devil hunters didn't give up. Instead, they became even more bloodthirsty and violent. 111! 111! After a few hours, figures suddenly appeared in the surrounding areas. Senior brother! Saint Su and I shouted when he saw the sudden appearance of more than a dozen figures. Junior brother, are you all right? Do you need us to lend a hand? Among the dozen figures, a middle-aged man who was the leader looked at them. He teleported over and scanned the 3 battlefields. I don't think so. The 3 saints should be able to handle them. Saint Su and I shook his head. Thank you, senior brother, for coming to help. Hee, we're all from the same sect. Moreover, you guys are in danger. It's normal for us to come and take a look. The dozen experts from the Forbidden Land of the Void nodded their heads. There were more than a dozen of them. Among them, 3 were 6th Order sovereigns. The rest were 3rd Order to 5th Order sovereigns. This was also a strong team. What was different was that this team consisted of the saints and holy daughters of the Forbidden Land. Senior brother, look over there. That's the saint of the Roaring Dragon Forbidden Land, right? He's so strong, and the treasures in his hands are so strong. At this time, an expert from the Forbidden Land looked in Wang Xian's direction. He was shocked. Especially when he saw the 40 space swords surrounding Wang Xian. He was a little shaken. So many inborn cardinal treasure space swords. It was terrifying. Chapter 4009. Khanate cardinal treasures were extremely powerful even in the entire sword and sorcery universe. In fact, they were extremely precious and powerful weapons for all universes. The entire race in the Void Pagoda only had slightly more than 30 space-type Khanate cardinal treasures. One could only imagine the preciousness of connate cardinal treasures. In the entire sword and sorcery universe, unless one was a saint or saintess from a powerful forbidden ground, the sacred college, it was impossible to have more than 2 connate cardinal treasures. As for the remaining supreme talents, there was only one. And this was under the circumstances of the supreme talents. Compared to the saints, saintesses, and supreme talents, there were more ordinary disciples. Many ordinary disciples at the Universe Lord level did not even have connate cardinal treasures. And this phenomenon was even more obvious in the forbidden ground of space. In the forbidden ground of space, the current saints and saintesses only had 2 connate cardinal treasures. This was because space-type treasures were extremely rare to begin with. Other than the saints and saintesses, only the more advanced supreme talents had them. Now that Wang Xian had taken out 40 connate cardinal treasures, it was indeed shocking. Senior brother, he is the Saint Wang Xian. He obtained a large number of resources and treasures in the universe ruins, including the demonic pillar of a space-type expert. In addition, he also possesses extremely powerful sword techniques. His sword techniques are terrifying. You can take a look. Saint Su and I walked to the front of the few 6th Order Universe Lord Realm senior brothers and transmitted his voice. The few senior brothers nodded their heads slightly as they looked ahead. In front of them, Wang Xian had formed a sword mound with sharp swords, forming a sword array. The sword array formed a sharp sword and exploded with terrifying attacks. He was suppressing the 3 demon hunters. From time to time, during the battle, he would use his own energy to form a sword mound, forming a sword array to surround them. The attack power was exceptionally terrifying. This sword technique. Saint Su and I and the rest of the senior brothers were solemn when they saw Wang Xian's battle sword technique. Their eyes were fixed on Wang Xian, and their expressions changed slightly. Saint Wang Xian is really powerful. He can suppress the 3 demon hunters even when they are in a frenzy. That's really impressive. Yeah, he's really impressive. You should know that Saint Wang Xian has already killed one. What kind of space sword technique is Saint Wang Xian using? It's really impressive. His strength is even stronger than the barbarian saint and Lua saintess. I reckon the 2 of them would have to join forces to fight him. Exclamations came from the surroundings as the holy sons, holy virgins, and geniuses discussed. The battle continued. After more than 10 hours, the 3 devil hunters tried to escape from Wang Xian. Yes. They wanted to escape. At this moment, the 3 demon hunters were dripping with blood, and their auras were much weaker than before. They roared in unison and immediately fled into the distance. Whoosh! At this time, an expert in the forbidden space below moved and instantly launched an attack on the escaping hunter magical beast. The spatial attribute of a 6th Order Universe Sovereign was able to suppress magical beasts of the same level. The terrifying attack heavily injured hunter demon hunters one after another. Poo-pee-you! Soon, the 3 hunter magical beasts were killed. The 4 demonic beasts that the barbarian Holy Son and Lua Holy Daughter were dealing with flared up. They immediately fled into the distance. However, they were easily killed by the experts from the forbidden space. Thank you, senior brothers! The barbarian Holy Son and the rest looked at the experts from the forbidden space, cupped their fists, and expressed their gratitude. They should be thanking them for rushing over to help. Hee hee, you're welcome. We were in the vicinity, so we rushed over. The experts from the forbidden space shook their heads and said with a smile, I still have to thank you, senior brothers. The hunter demon hunters that you killed will belong to you. Lua Holy Daughter expressed her gratitude too. Wang Xian flew over and cupped his fists. All right, we won't stand on ceremony. Junior brothers and sisters, continue with your training. Let's go to the next level. The experts from the forbidden space smiled and took away the corpses of the hunter demon beasts that they had killed. After which, they waved their hands and left. Phew, it's all thanks to Holy Son Wang Xian that we could hang on for so long. I didn't expect you to be so strong. You're so much stronger than me. The barbarian Holy Son looked at Wang Xian and exclaimed. Hee hee. Wang Xian chuckled. He hesitated for a moment before looking at the barbarian Holy Sun and the rest. Everyone, I'm going to act alone next. Huh! Wang Xian's sudden words stunned the barbarian Holy Sun and the rest. But soon after, they understood something in their hearts. Wang Xian was a space attribute cultivator. His strength was stronger than all of them combined. If he encountered a powerful magical beast, he could teleport away instantly. If he went with them, he would be a burden. That's true. Given your strength, it's more suitable for you to act alone. If we go with you, we'll be a burden to you. Lu Wei Holy Daughter nodded and said, Since Holy Son Wang Xian wants to act alone, we won't force you. Be careful. The barbarian Holy Sun nodded and said, We are indeed a burden to you. Please be careful when you act alone. The rest of the Holy Sons and Saintesses added, Big Brother Wang Xian! Long Yining, Long Yinhao, and the rest looked at Wang Xian and shouted, Be careful. Yeah, you guys be careful too. I'll be fine. Wang Xian smiled and looked at the barbarian Holy Sun and Lu Wei Holy Daughter. I'll have to trouble Brother Barbarian and Saintess Lu Wei to take care of my junior brothers and sisters. They are relatively weaker. No problem. Don't worry, Brother Wang Xian. The barbarian Holy Sun smiled and assured Wang Xian when he heard the change in the way Wang Xian addressed him. He knew that this was a small favor. Their relationship would also improve in the future. They had witnessed Wang Xian's strength. If he continued to grow in the future, he might become the strongest person below the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan. This was not impossible. Don't worry. Lu Wei Holy Daughter nodded with a smile. Alright, we'll meet again in the near future. You guys can do whatever you want with the corpses of these magical beasts. Wang Xian cupped his fists at them. Then, he moved and left. The barbarian Holy Sun and Lu Wei Holy Daughter waved their hands. Wang Xian disappeared in a flash. Now, his void divine dragon body was still a little weak in Wang Xian's eyes. However, he was no longer on the same level as the barbarian Holy Sun and the rest. He wouldn't get any training if he trained with them. He was prepared to act alone and look for some resources to train himself. Chapter 40:10 Wang Xian teleported a few times and found an entrance to the 4th level. His figure moved and he directly entered the cave. The 4th level was slightly higher than the 3rd level. But it wasn't too high. Generally speaking, the strongest beasts in the 4th level were 6th Order Universe Sovereigns. The 5th level was the 7th Order Universe Sovereigns. The 6th level was the 8th Order. The 7th level was the 9th Order. The 8th level was the Pinnacle Realm. As for the 9th level, it was rumored that the limbs of the Sky Yuan creation realm fell, and after a long period of nurturing, powerful magical beasts were born. The magical beasts in the 9th level were strong, but no one knew exactly how strong they were. Of course, they had not reached the Sky Yuan creation realm. They might be comparable to the Pinnacle Realm Sovereigns. The details were still unknown. After Wang Xian arrived at the 4th level, he moved and quickly searched for magical beasts to hunt. At the same time, Wang Xian's main body had also arrived at the Devil Abyss. Compared to the other void divine dragon body, Wang Xian's main body could almost run amok in the entire Devil Abyss. He quickly went from the 1st level to the 8th level. His incredible speed did not hinder him at all. Before the rest of the magical beasts could react, Wang Xian had already flown over. The 8th level, I can meet Pinnacle Sovereign magical beast here. I can test my strength. Wang Xian came to the 8th level with a smile on his face. The 8th level was located in an extremely deep place. This place was filled with violent energy. The ground and sky were all dark red. Different from the previous levels, there were all kinds of plants in the previous levels. As for this level, it might be because it was too deep, there were not many plants. Even if there were, these plants contained considerable energy, and were considered treasures. The entire 8th level was filled with the stench of blood. This stench mixed with the air. Living here for a long time would cause one to go berserk. The weak would go crazy here. Not only were there peak-level Universe Sovereign Realm magical beasts, there were also many fifth-order Universe Sovereign Realm magical beasts. However, the strongest ones were Pinnacle Universe Sovereigns. Wang Xian floated in the air and scanned the area. From time to time, he could sense some magical beasts. Wang Xian had no interest in dealing with the weaker magical beasts. He continued to fly in and sized up the place. After flying for more than 10 hours, the scenery in front of him changed. There was a huge pool of magma in front of them. Yes, lava. It was a magma domain. The lava contained terrifying flames and dark energy. The rolling magma was constantly flowing. From time to time, huge lava torrents would erupt. This isn't ordinary lava! Wang Xian came to the top and sensed the energy within. His eyes flickered. The magma contained boundless energy. If one were to cultivate inside, it would greatly increase the cultivation speed of the fire and darkness attributes. In a flash, he dived into the magma. As soon as he entered, the surrounding energy surged towards him. His eyes flickered. The energy concentration here wasn't any weaker than in the universe ruins. Or even stronger. This should be a powerful treasure land belonging to the magical beast Abyss. Moreover, this treasure land isn't small. There must be Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm magical beasts inside. Wang Xian thought to himself. With a swift move, he flew inside immediately. Although the interior of the magma blocked his vision, with Wang Xian's strength, his eyesight could directly disregard the red and dark magma. These were magma rocks. As he flew rapidly inside, Wang Xian soon sensed something. He sensed a ball of powerful energy in front of him. It should be a rank 9 Universe Ruler Realm magical beast. Wang Xian thought to himself as he sensed the power of this ball of energy. He flew straight over. Walala! Roar! Roar! The magical beast ahead sensed something. Its body shook and the surrounding magma was shaken away. A vacuum was formed. It looked in Wang Xian's direction with eerie eyes. When Wang Xian saw this magical beast clearly, his eyes flickered. This was a magical beast with a body of black and red. Its body was as hard as a meteorite. A pair of blood-red eyes stared at him. The entire magical beast was a few thousand meters in size and looked terrifying. Wang Xian sized up this magical beast. At this moment, he was attracted by a huge metal meteorite below the magical beast. It seems to be a powerful metal. He sensed it with his mind and his eyes glowed. Now, other than a large amount of resources, what Wang Xian wanted the most was some metal materials. To increase the strength of the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 Elements Grind. It was a huge piece of metal that contained fire and darkness attributes. It could allow the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 Elements Grind to absorb it at the same time. Roar, roar! At this moment, the magical beast ahead saw Wang Xian's mind engulfing it. His bloodthirsty eyes were filled with rage. With a swift move, he launched an attack on Wang Xian. Wang Xian looked over and chuckled. With a wave of his arm, a gust of energy rushed towards the magical beast. Boom! The horrifying energy penetrated its body instantly. A rank 9 Universe Ruler Realm magical beast died instantly. A 9th Order Universe Sovereign Realm magical beast that could wreak havoc in the outside world was killed in a second by Wang Xian. Even the Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm experts were shocked when they saw this. Wang Xian moved and kept the corpse of the demonic beast. After which, he came to the spot where it had been previously. After checking the metal, he smiled. Absorbing this piece of metal should be close to improving the Tai Chi Dragon Board and the 5 Elements Grind. This metal should have been born here. There should be more, Wang Xian thought to himself. After keeping it, he continued to fly forward. He was prepared to search the surroundings. He continued flying forward. Not long after, Wang Xian encountered a rank 8 Universe Ruler Realm magical beast. After killing it easily, he continued searching the surroundings. I finally encountered a Universe Ruler Realm magical beast. Time to test out my current strength. After flying for a few hours, Wang Xian sensed something and his eyes lit up. He flew to the right quickly. Soon, he saw a dozen magical beasts lying in the magma, cultivating. In the center, the magical beast was emitting terrifying energy. There are treasures! Wang Xian looked to the side and was delighted. Chapter 4011 A Group of Pinnacle Universe Lords. Other than a Pinnacle Universe ruler realm magical beast, there were over a dozen 8th Order and 9th Order Universe rulers. Beside the group of beasts, there were some metals. Metals that contained fire and darkness attributes. And there was a lot of them. It was enough for the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and the 5 elements grind to achieve a breakthrough. This made Wang Xian's eyes gleam with excitement. His figure moved, and he closed in on the magical beast horde. Boom! The moment he got close, waves of incomparably violent energy rushed towards him. More than a dozen beasts stared at him coldly. Wang! In the next second, a 9th Order Universe Sovereign Realm magical beast charged towards Wang Xian. As for the Pinnacle Universe Lord, it laid there motionlessly. It merely glanced at Wang Xian. Hee hee! Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw this. He stretched out his palm and his arm turned into a dragon claw, grabbing at the 9th Order Universe Lord. That magical beast felt the terrifying aura from Wang Xian and was a little dumbfounded. Roar! He hurriedly stopped and growled at the direction behind him. Pfft! But it was too late. Wang Xian's dragon claw extended and expanded to 10,000 meters long. The terrifying energy instantly crushed the 9th Order Universe Lord. In front, the group of beasts went berserk when they saw their own kind being killed. They floated in the air and stared at Wang Xian coldly. The Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm magical beast was also staring coldly at Wang Xian. Roar! It roared and felt the energy from Wang Xian. In the next second, he attacked Wang Xian directly. The other dozen beasts followed closely. Almighty Heavenly Dragon! When Wang Xian saw them attacking, he waved his arm and hovered in the air. A terrifying sky dragon was formed and attacked the dozen demonic beasts. Roar, roar! The Pinnacle Universe Lord saw the heavenly dragon that suddenly appeared in the sky. Feeling the threat of death, its heart thumped violently. Roar, roar! It roared and went berserk. The fiery red and dark energy on his body intertwined, forming a terrifying storm. In the surroundings, magma flowed towards the surrounding minerals. It formed an incomparably huge space. The rest of the magical beasts immediately went berserk. They charged straight at the great mighty heavenly dragon. Bam, bam, bam! Boom, boom, boom! An extremely terrifying collision sound was heard. The heavenly dragon in the sky suppressed them with its invincible power. A torrent of energy enveloped them. The attacks of the dozen magical beasts couldn't withstand Wang Xian's attack at all. It couldn't be broken. Ao, ao, ao! In an instant, other than the Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm magical beast, all the other magical beasts died. Even if they had already gone berserk. Even that Peak Universe Ruler Realm demonic beast was instantly heavily injured. Not bad! When Wang Xian saw the attack of his Law of Dharma form, he was satisfied. This was not his most powerful attack. He had yet to unleash his 9-origin dragon domain. He still had an even stronger attack. In addition, he had yet to use his inborn cardinal treasure, the Heaven Yuan Fortune Fragment. Now, even without relying on treasures, the strength of Wang Xian's body was slightly higher than the Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm. This made Wang Xian feel satisfied. Roar, roar! At this moment, the Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm demonic beast stared at Wang Xian in horror. Without any hesitation, it fled into the distance. Trying to escape? Wang Xian smiled coldly as he flapped his unbeginning saint wings. Whoosh! With a terrifying speed, Wang Xian appeared behind him in an instant. He extended his dragon claws and clawed at the beast's body. Roar, roar! The Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm demonic beast felt death approaching. It turned around and spat out endless violent energy. The energy contained the explosive power of flames and darkness. Bam! but Wang Xian didn't even flinch. His dragon claws crushed the energy it spat out and landed on its body. Ao Ao! The Pinnacle Universe Ruler Realm demonic beast let out a scream of despair. Pfft! Wang Xian's dragon claws penetrated its body and instantly wiped out all its vitality. Done! Wang Xian waved his arm and kept all the corpses into the mother nest. He moved and came to the nest of the demonic beasts. He scanned the surrounding metal materials and revealed a satisfied look. After the breakthrough of the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon plate, they could rival 3 Pinnacle Universe rulers. Together, they could fight against 6 Pinnacle Universe rulers. This was definitely a terrifying combat strength. This magma domain is really a treasure land. Let's continue to see if there are other demonic beasts, Wang Xian thought to himself. With a shift of his body, he continued to fly forward. Now, he had nothing to worry about in this abyss of demonic beasts. After flying for a few hours, he didn't see any demonic beasts. After flying for another half an hour, he looked ahead with a startled expression on his face. There was a large number of metal treasures in front of him. These metal treasures were the same as the ones he had just obtained. The only difference was that the number of metallic treasures here was much greater than before. He scanned his surroundings in astonishment. He didn't find any demonic beasts. No, Wang Xian could sense the remnant aura of the demonic beasts in the surroundings. This aura of demonic beasts flew in one direction. What's going on? This place is definitely the nest of a powerful demonic beast tribe. It might even be stronger than the one I had just hunted. Where are the demonic beasts here? They actually abandoned the treasures in their nest and left directly? Did they encounter an attack from the experts of the sword and sorcery universe? No, there are no traces of battle here. They left on their own. Wang Xian stood there and sensed everything around him as he murmured. It wasn't normal for a group of demonic beasts to abandon the treasures in their nest and leave directly. He kept the metal materials and quietly sensed the aura of the demonic beasts. After hesitating for a moment, Wang Xian followed the aura and flew forward. He wanted to see where the demonic beasts had gone to. What situation had they encountered that made them abandon the treasures in their nest? Chapter 40:12 Wang Xian followed the aura of some demonic beasts and flew forward. He was a little curious as to why these demonic beasts gave up on the treasures in their lair and left directly. Was it because there were more powerful treasures? Or was it because of the experts from the sword and sorcery universe? However, based on his understanding, the experts from the sword and sorcery universe should not have come to the depths of the devil beast abyss. In that case, the first possibility was more likely. After all, something that could attract the Pinnacle Sovereign Realm demonic beasts was definitely not simple. He continued flying forward. After flying for a few hours, he had already flown out of the magma area. After flying for a few more minutes, he came to a stop and looked ahead in surprise. Standing here, he could sense the aura left behind by many powerful demonic beasts. There were definitely more than 10 Pinnacle Sovereign Realm demonic beasts. Wang Xian's eyes fell on the entrance of the cave. That was the passageway to the 9th level of the Devil Beast Abyss. It was also the only passageway to the 9th level that Wang Xian had encountered when he came to the 8th level. The 8th level of the Devil Beast Abyss was different from the previous levels. There were many entrances to the lower levels, and they were all very easy to find. This 8th level was the only one that Wang Xian had encountered so far. Around this cave, there were many auras left behind by powerful demonic beasts. Wang Xian flew over and got closer. His eyes swept across and finally fell on the entrance of the cave. The entrance was 10,000 meters wide and he couldn't see what was inside. Wang Xian got closer and stared inside. After hesitating for a moment, he flew straight in. Below him was the 9th level of the Devil Beast Abyss. It was also the last level of the Devil Beast Abyss. At the 8th level, there were Pinnacle Sovereign Realm demonic beasts. What kind of existence was in the deepest level? According to the news and rumors from the Sacred Institute and the Forbidden Grounds, there were demonic beasts born from the core energy of the heaven's creation limbs. They were comparable to pinnacle sovereign realm demonic beasts of the space attribute. Although this was just a guess, the possibility was high. However, no one knew what the exact truth was. Wang Xian flew straight to the last level. His speed was very fast. 10 minutes later, he arrived at the lowest level. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Roar, roar, I'm going to eat all of you. Give up resisting. When Wang Xian arrived at the 9th level of the magical beast abyss, a terrifying and vast energy surged towards him. What followed was an incomparably brutal roar. What's this? When Wang Xian sensed the terrifying battle from afar and heard the violent roars, he was shocked. He looked over, and his eyes were filled with shock. The power in front of them shook the heavens. Even Wang Xian was shocked by the horrifying collision of energy. His gaze froze and his expression changed slightly. What's going on? How could the aftermath of the previous battle be so terrifying? Even if you use the fragment of heavenly yuan good fortune, it won't be able to do much, right? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. He stared ahead and moved his arm. The Book of Water Forbidden spell appeared in his hand. Wrapping himself with water energy, Wang Xian made a move and flew forward. A top-notch expert of the sword and magic universe? He thought to himself, full of vigilance. He used the fragment of the heaven origin fortune treasure to conceal himself, ensuring that he would not be discovered. As he approached, Wang Xian could vaguely see the scene ahead. When he saw this huge battle, his face was filled with shock. It wasn't the experts of the sword and magic universe who were fighting in front, but 3 magical beasts. Yes, 3 magical beasts. Each of the magical beasts was 10,000 meters long. Their bodies were filled with violent and horrifying energy. The energy contained in each of them was much stronger than a pinnacle sovereign realm magical beast. One of them was in the form of a bird beast, with a pair of blood-red wings. On the wings there were black, squirming flesh. The flesh and blood looked abnormally malignant and horrifying. The second magical beast was in the form of a single-horned, one-eyed bull. Its body was covered with blood-red scales, and each scale was shining brightly. Every single scale seemed to be able to unleash a terrifying attack. The third magical beast was a hunter magical beast. At this moment, the 3 magical beasts were fighting and killing each other. However, among them, the hunter magical beast seemed to be the strongest. It was slightly stronger than the other 2. The sentence just now was obviously from this hunter magical beast. Thousands of magical beasts had gathered around the 3 magical beasts that were fighting. These magical beasts were all 8th order universe sovereigns and above. All of them were prostrating in the surroundings, watching the huge battle with fear. What's going on? A battle between magical beasts? Also, the 3 magical beasts fighting in the middle seemed to have intelligence. Wang Xian looked on in shock. Magical beasts had no intelligence, only strong instincts. This was publicly acknowledged in the sword and magic universe. Even if they could be tamed, they were still magical beasts. Without strong intelligence. The 3 magical beasts in front of them clearly possessed extremely high intelligence. They could even speak. With such intelligence, why were they still fighting? And from the looks of it, they should have been fighting for a long time. Demon Hunter King, you want to devour me? Dream on. Today, I will devour all of you and achieve the great Tao of Heaven essence. The huge blood-red winged magical beast roared with a face full of rage. How dare you! You are my flesh and blood. I let you return to my body. How dare you resist? Die! The terrifying demon hunter king roared with murderous intent. He was like a terrifying monster that could destroy the world, with sharp thorns all over his body. He waved his arm and slashed. The bird demonic beast hurriedly dodged. Roar, roar, we all have independent consciousness. You want to devour me? Dream on! The one-eyed magical beast roared furiously as it stepped on the void with its horns. Boom, boom, boom! The entire void began to tremble and explode. Beams of energy attacked the other 2 magical beasts. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions and confrontations were going on all the time. Wang Xian was shocked when he heard their words. Why did the hunter magical beast king say that they are his flesh and blood? Devouring them can achieve the great Tao of heaven essence creation? What's going on? What's going on with these three magical beasts? As he spoke, he guessed in his heart. He was extremely shocked. He seemed to have discovered something horrifying. Chapter 40:13 Rumble, rumble, rumble. The sounds of battle rang out continuously. The attacks of the three demonic beasts were exceptionally terrifying. The three of them were fighting individually. When they attacked one of the demonic beasts, the other two might erupt in the next second. What's more, their attacks were omnidirectional attacks that enveloped all of their opponents. Qilin ox, rotting bird, I advise you to return to my body. I'll lead you to the creation path of sky origin. In front of them, the demon hunter king roared with murderous intent. His body trembled. Behind him, terrifying spikes shot towards the Qilin ox and rotting bird. The attack of his bone spikes was terrifying. Wherever they passed, cracks would appear in the void. The terrifying energy drove the surrounding energy to form a dark spear. The dark spear flew out from the abyss and attacked the other two demonic beasts. As for the other two demonic beasts, the one-horned and one-eyed Qilin ox was covered in blood-red scales that shone brightly. There were symbols on it that looked like musical cymbals. They flew out continuously from his scales. The moment they flew out, these symbols turned into mountains, swords, giant beasts, and many other things. They contained terrifying attack power. As for the rotting bird, with a slight flap of its wings, the entire starry sky was covered in a terrifying corrosive rain. The moment the corrosive rain fell, it formed a unique space. The entire sky seemed to have become its territory. A terrifying territory. The strength of these demonic beasts is definitely not weaker than mine. As Wang Xian watched their battle, his eyes were filled with shock. These three demonic beasts were clearly formed from the limbs of a heavenly origin creation stage expert. They had even developed intelligence after cultivating to this stage. However, Wang Xian did not understand why they were fighting. Could they become creation realm experts by devouring their opponents? He was shocked. From afar, he stared at them quietly. All the demonic beasts that were 8th order sovereigns and above watched in awe. The suppression from the bloodline of the three demonic beasts made them afraid to move. The battle continued. Time passed day by day. Seeing this, Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Ha ha, after fighting with you for half a year, it's almost time for you to die. 5 months later, the demon hunter king in front of them suddenly went berserk. Suddenly, terrifying bone spikes appeared on his back. Each of the blood-red bone spikes was a few thousand meters long. Most importantly, his bone spurs were very thick and sharp, and there was light flowing on them. The demon hunter king had gone berserk. His strength was clearly the strongest among the three magical beasts. And now, he was the first to go berserk. Roar, demon hunter king, do you think we're afraid of you? Qilin ox, let's cripple his claws first. The rotten bird roared loudly when it saw the demon hunter king going berserk. Its cold eyes were filled with bloodthirst. He roared and went berserk as well. Waves of dark energy surged out from his body. The power of darkness condensed into a black liquid that spun around him. Both of you devoured my offspring. You have to die. The horns on top of Qilin ox's head glowed as he went berserk. His body began to grow larger, and the light on his scales turned blood red. Each scale was like a terrifying weapon. It was like a terrifying war machine. Between the three magical beasts, there was obviously a deep blood feud. They did not join forces to fight against the other one. The three magical beasts went berserk at the same time. An even more terrifying battle broke out. Not far away, Wang Xian watched quietly as the battle escalated. This was the real battle. A battle that was close to the heavenly Yuan creation realm. Even if a pinnacle universe lord expert stepped into it, he would be crushed by their violent energy. Too strong. Simply too strong. Wang Xian was slightly shocked. If these three magical beasts attacked him together, they could probably kill him completely. The battle continued. More than 10 days passed again. The three magical beasts were in a killing frenzy, and their aura did not diminish. Their berserk state could sustain them for a long time. Roar, roar! You two foolish things. You are just a piece of flesh that fell from my body. Today, I will take it all back. Die. Today, I will show you the might of the crazy devil Aegea Sky Devil God. Aegea Sky Devil God Shadow. Half a month later, the Demon Hunter King suddenly let out a wild roar. His voice had changed. In the next instant, he suddenly spread his arms. An extremely terrifying shadow of a demon god appeared behind him. This devil god shadow was similar to the Demon Hunter King, but it looked 10 times more ferocious. The horrifying shadow exuded an incomparably terrifying aura. When Wang Xian felt this aura, his expression changed drastically. This aura is many times stronger than what the Demon Hunter King unleashed just now. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and revealed a shocked expression. Has he touched upon the realm of heavenly Yuan fortune? He was shocked. After hesitating for a moment, he took a few steps back. The sudden eruption of the Demon Hunter King and the horrifying strength could crush him directly. Damn it, Demon Hunter King. No, you are not the Demon Hunter King. You have been invaded. You have been invaded. The rotten bird saw the sudden eruption of the Demon Hunter King and the horrifying devil god Shadow. It was shocked and roared in fear. How is this possible? Aegea Sky Devil God? Aegea Sky Devil God is in the crazy devil universe. How could it be here? Demon Hunter King, you are playing tricks. The Qilin bull also narrowed its eyes and roared in anger. You two brats, I used my flesh and blood to give birth to you. Since you don't know how to repay me, I can only crush you and devour you completely. At this moment, the Demon Hunter King was exceptionally horrifying. His aura was completely different from before. Previously, his body contained the metal and darkness attributes. Now, there was an additional earth attribute. The energy that was mixed together was unusually violent. In addition to his special body and the devil god Shadow behind him, his strength and aura were far stronger than before. Shadow Shroud, Devil God Embrace. Die! The Demon Hunter King roared. The horrifying devil god Shadow behind him spread its arms and shrouded the rotten bird and the Qilin bull. When the devil god Shadow spread its arms, it was as though it was embracing the entire world. Chapter 40:14 Demonic Shadow. Embrace the world. When the Demon Hunter King let out a creepy sound as though he was possessed by a heavenly Yuan creation level. This horrifying attack covered the entire space. All the magical beasts in the surroundings were instantly enveloped by it. Even where Wang Xian was, he was quickly embraced by this horrifying shadow. At the sight of this, Wang Xian's expression changed drastically. Without any hesitation, he quickly dodged to the back. What a horrifying attack! Looking from afar, Wang Xian stared ahead. The shadow of a demonic god appeared on the 9th level of the magical beast abyss. His head was at the highest point, and his feet were on the ground. An embrace enveloped the entire space. I'm afraid the Demon Hunter King is about to win. Will he be able to reach the heavenly Yuan creation level after devouring the other two magical beasts? If he can, it'll be horrifying, Wang Xian murmured with a face full of shock. When the space was enveloped, a horrifying roar came from within. How can you borrow the power of the Agatian Mad Demon God? How can you be the Agatian Demon God? We are the blood-stained limbs of the Agatian Demon God. We were born from the creation level and no longer belong to you. Why do you want to devour us? Unless there's only one possibility. There's only one possibility. That is, the Agatian Demon God has fallen. You have invaded the body of the Demon Hunter King and replaced him. You want a second life. In the darkness, the furious voices of the rotten bird and Qilin bull could be heard. They were filled with disbelief and disbelief. The Demon Hunter King had been invaded. The current Demon Hunter King was no longer the Demon Hunter King of the past. His consciousness had been occupied by the Agatian Demon God. Why would a heavenly Yuan creation level Demon Hunter King's body? There was only one possibility. The Agatian Demon God at the heavenly Yuan creation level had fallen due to some special reason. Therefore, he wanted to use the body of the Demon Hunter King to revive. It's too late now. I've been waiting for this moment for a long, long time. I'm 90% confident of returning to my peak after devouring you two. Die, you two! Violent laughter came from within. Following which, Wang Xian saw a horrifying aura coming from within. No, no! Screams were heard. It lasted for a long time. Wang Xian stared at it with flickering eyes. Boom, boom, boom! Just when Wang Xian thought it was coming to an end, suddenly, he saw a demonic beast emitting a terrifying glow. Runes spun around him, and he rushed out from inside, drenched in blood. It flew towards Wang Xian. Eh? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly when he saw the figure dashing out. It was that kind of Qilin ox. His entire body was in a terrible state, and some of his scales had already disappeared. His aura was extremely weak. He fled with all his might and soon arrived before Wang Xian. Wang Xian sized him up with sparkling eyes. This was a devil beast that had surpassed the peak of the sovereign realm. It was a demonic beast born from the heavenly essence creation limb. This Qilin bull's strength was not much weaker than his. If he could kill it, it would definitely be a terrifying amount of resources. The Qilin bull flew over. Behind it, the demon god Agatha did not immediately chase after it. Perhaps it was because of the rotting birds or some other reason. He didn't give chase. This is an opportunity! When Wang Xian saw it, his eyes shone with excitement. His body moved, ready to attack. The moment Wang Xian moved, the Qilin bull also noticed him. Save me! The Qilin bull saw Wang Xian and immediately transmitted a message to him with a pleading look. When Wang Xian heard it, he was taken aback as he sensed the energy in his body. His current aura was not even as strong as a peak of the Universe Lord Realm expert. Swish! With a wave of his arm, the star field fragment appeared in his hand and shrouded the Qilin bull. Wang Xian did not kill him. Instead, he trapped him. Hurry up and leave! The rotting bird's attack caused some trouble for the Agatha Devil God, but he can react quickly. Hurry up and run, or we will all be killed by him. The Qilin bull was shocked when he felt himself trapped and Wang Xian's strength. But he still shouted anxiously. If he stayed here and was caught by the Agatha Devil God, he would definitely die. If he left this place, there was still a chance of survival. Therefore, at this moment, he did not care who Wang Xian was or what his intentions were. All right, let's go! Wang Xian did not kill him. With a swift move, he brought the Qilin bull far away. Head to the front right. That's my old nest. There are some treasures there. Take them and escape to the upper levels immediately. The Qilin bull continued. All right. Wang Xian nodded. With a wave of his arm, a stream of energy was injected into the Qilin bull's body. As long as he moved, the Qilin bull would die instantly. He came to the front of the Qilin bull. Below them, a planet appeared. The planet brought them away at a terrifying speed. Now that Wang Xian's strength had increased, he could basically use all the energy in the heavenly Yuan Fate fragment. After all, this was just a fragment. With Wang Xian's strength, it would not be a problem to control it completely. You! Who are you? An expert from the sword and sorcery universe? The Qilin bull looked at Wang Xian and couldn't help but ask when he sensed their speed. As he spoke, his eyes were filled with wariness. But he could also feel that there was an energy in his body that could destroy him instantly. Sort of! Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian nodded his head with a beaming face. He was also sizing up the Qilin bull with curiosity. What's the situation in the 9th level of the magical beast abyss? How did you guys develop intelligence? Wang Xian stared at him and asked. magical beasts did not have intelligence. He was indeed surprised that these 3 magical beasts developed intelligence. Of course, he could guess something. We are demonic beasts born from the creation of heaven and earth. When I cultivated to the universe ruler realm, I was born with great intelligence. The Qilin bull fell silent for a moment before answering. Are the other 2 like this too? Why did you guys suddenly start killing each other? Can the demon hunter king break through after devouring you guys? Wang Xian continued to ask curiously. I don't know. The demon hunter king Rotten Bird and I were born from the same heavenly yuan fate fragment. We have the same physique and bloodline. In the past, we didn't have much hatred for each other, nor did we fight each other. But tens of millions of years ago, we suddenly sensed something. We sensed that as long as we devour each other, we might become stronger. The demon hunter king and Rotten Bird started attacking me, and I retaliated. The Qilin bull answered. Chapter 40:15. Huh! Wang Xian was astonished when he heard Qilin bull's words. He could sense it directly. As long as he devoured the other party, he would be able to break through. Why would you sense it? Wang Xian asked Qilin bull, slightly surprised. I didn't understand it in the past, but now I understand a little. Qilin bull's eyes sparkled. The demon hunter king is no longer himself. He has been invaded, and what has invaded him is the will of Aya Sky Demon God. The main reason why we were able to cultivate to this level is because we were born on the flesh and blood of Aya Sky Demon God. In other words, we were born from his flesh and blood. Now that we have this feeling in our minds, there is only one possibility for the demon hunter king to be invaded by Aya Sky Demon God across the barrier of the universe. Aya Sky Demon God has fallen, completely fallen. His fall gives us the feeling that we can break through as long as we devour the other party. Because the barrier before us has disappeared, we can also advance to the creation realm. Qilin bull shared his speculation with Wang Xian. When Wang Xian heard this, his face was filled with astonishment. The birth of creation realm wasn't something that could happen just because one wanted to. The number of creation realm experts that could be born in a universe was limited. Just like the 9 sources universe. Once a water attribute expert advanced to the creation of sky origin stage, other water attribute experts would never be able to step into the creation of sky origin stage. Unless this water attribute expert died, they would not be able to escape. Otherwise, there would be no more creation realm experts of the same attribute. In the 9 sources universe, there were 9 attributes. In other words, only 9 creation realm experts could be born. Of course, there was another type, and that was the combination of attributes. For example, the yin and yang attribute. If one cultivated the light and darkness attribute at the same time, they would be able to enter the divine creation realm by cultivating both attributes at the same time. However, the difficulty of advancing to the creation realm by cultivating 2 attributes was twice as difficult as cultivating 1 attribute. Don't underestimate the difficulty. Currently, there were no 9 creation realm experts in the 9 sources universe. From this, one could see how difficult it was. There was also a second way to advance to the creation realm. For example, there were fire attribute creation realm experts in the 9 sources universe. However, in the sword and magic universe, there was no fire-type heaven's origin creation. In that case, fire-type experts from the 9 essences universe could come to the sword and magic universe to make their breakthroughs. That was possible. The reason why the cataclysm was so brutal was because of the Great Tribulation. In fact, every time the cataclysm began, countless living beings in the universe would perish. This was one of the most important reasons. This was the quota for breaking through. Countless universe experts fought for the quota. This was the reason why so many peak sovereign realm experts were fighting crazily. He wanted to break through. He wanted a spot. Because of this, blood flowed like rivers and the universe dimmed. If those powerful cosmoses wanted to make their own cosmos even more powerful, they would have to annihilate and subdue the lifeforms in that cosmos. He ordered his subordinates, his heirs, and his disciples to use this quota to complete their promotion. The Qilin bulls and the others possessed many different attributes. The energy within his body was incomparably violent. With 2 or 3 types of energy in their bodies, it was basically impossible for them to break through. Another thing was that they were born from the flesh and blood of the fortune of heaven. How could a creature born from the flesh and blood of the fortune of heaven realm advance to the fortune of heaven realm? This was impossible. No matter how great the opportunity was, it was impossible for them to break through. The only thing was that the heavenly origin fortune realm cultivator had perished. With the barrier in front of them gone, they could advance further. Moreover, it would be easier for them to take this step compared to other experts. It would be easier for them to advance to the fortune of heaven realm. This was also why the Qilin bulls and the others felt that as long as they devoured the other party, they would be able to break through. If one of you devoured the other party completely in the end, would you really be able to advance to the fortune of heaven realm? Wang Xian asked Qilin bull. The possibility is high. Qilin bull nodded and guessed. That Aya sky demonic god seemed to have sensed that he might perish during the previous cataclysm. Therefore, he left a seed in the body of the demon hunter king. After he perished, he completely occupied the body of the demon hunter king. He wanted to devour us, reincarnate, and step into the fortune of heaven realm. Wang Xian was slightly shocked when he heard this. Was the fortune of heaven realm that terrifying? He had predicted that he might perish and therefore set a trap. He wanted to be reincarnated. He wanted to step into the fortune of heaven realm again. Moreover, as long as he devoured the rotten bird and Qilin bull, he might be able to break through completely in no time. It was truly terrifying. In that case, if you devoured the rotten bird and the demon hunter king, you might also be able to break through to the fortune of heaven realm? Wang Xian remained silent for a few minutes. His eyes flickered as he looked at Qilin bull and asked. The possibility is high. The barrier in front of us has disappeared. Among the 3 of us, whoever cultivates faster will be able to advance to the fortune of heaven realm. However, the balance has been broken. The demon hunter king has become the Aya sky demonic god. Moreover, the rotten bird has been killed by him. His strength will increase exponentially, and it will be hard for me to catch up. Qilin bull answered. Wang Xian fell silent when he heard this. This Aya sky demonic god was very strong. Even before he devoured the rotten bird, Wang Xian would not even be able to keep his life if he fought him with the help of the fortune of heaven realm fragment. Unless he broke through once more. As long as he broke through again, he might be able to kill the Aya sky demonic god. However, if he wanted to break through again, he would need to consume too many resources. Oh yes, you mentioned that there are still treasures in your lair. Are there many treasures? Wang Xian asked Qilin bull. There are many. My territory is huge and there are many treasures. Qilin bull nodded and looked ahead. It's right in front. That's my lair. I hope you won't kill me. Spare my life. As he spoke, he looked at Wang Xian with a pleading look. If you are willing to submit to me, I can let you go. However, if you don't, I won't let you go. Wang Xian stared at him and said directly. Qilin bull's expression did not change much when he heard Wang Xian. This was within his expectations. Qilin bull was a human and he was a magical beast. They were mortal enemies. There was no way he would let him go easily. Especially after witnessing his strength, he would not let him go and leave behind any future troubles. Sure, I'm willing to submit. Qilin bull could only lower his head helplessly in the end. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.